good morning, Nick. How are you?
I'm really well. Welcome on board. I hope you're enjoying.
Tell us a little bit about the ship. What is different from what you already offer in other ships?
This is the 17th ship in this series and our most successful series to date. So popular with our consumers, particularly our Israeli consumers. And the reason being, it gives real choice. Choice of dining, choice of entertainment, choice of facilities. You know, if you go back just 5 years ago, would you have thought you'd have a karting track on a cruise ship? Would you think you'd have over 20 different restaurants? You want to go to the seafood restaurant tonight, you want to go to the steakhouse tomorrow night, you want to go to the Italian? It's your choice. And this is what we believe is so important. It's your holiday, and we want to give you that resort feel where you can go and do what you want aboard. And as you know, if you want to use the spa, the laser tag, or just relax, we're sat here in the Cabin Club, which is under license from the Cabin Club in Liverpool. So you can see the tribute Beatles band here every night on board.
So feel free.
Absolutely. It really describes what we're trying to do on board the actual ships. It gives you that actual choice, and it really is that choice element we want to give all our customers. And our Israelis, so many Israelis have cruised with us. You know, I have to say thank you. It's such a beautiful country, but so many great people enjoying our style of cruising.
And what roads the ship is supposed to do, plans to do?
You know, we're Norwegian cruise line by origin, but we're global by destination. And we have cruise ships cruising out Hawaii, Alaska, the Baltic, the Mediterranean, Asia. Norwegian Encore here will be based in the winter out of Miami, doing the Eastern Caribbean, and in the summer out of New York, going across to Bermuda. But there's something there for everybody. And if you look at the Israeli market, the most popular itineraries are Norwegian Epic cruising out from Barcelona, doing the Western Mediterranean, and Norwegian Escape cruising out from Copenhagen, doing the Baltic over 9 nights. But we do have some great new itineraries, where the Getaway will cruise out from Titlovechia, Rome, and the one which is doing it particularly well with our Israeli colleagues is cruising out from Singapore on Norwegian Jade.
Really?
Yep. And the Jade will be in Haifa in November.
Very good. My next question was when the Israelis will be able to go and cruise from Israel.
The first thing we have to do is we have to build up the number of our ships calling in Haifa. So I'm actually delighted we have the Norwegian Jade coming to Haifa during the course of November, Norwegian Spirit coming to Haifa in December and in February. So we're visiting Israel more and more. Now, I don't have an itinerary yet that we can embark, but we have more and more visits to Haifa at this stage.
Let's move on to some questions that we got from the people, the readers on the website, and the people on Instagram and the Facebook communities. A lot of people were asking about the kosher food.
Kosher is very important to us. So on every ship, every sailing, we offer the pre-prepared frozen kosher meals. And they're included in the fare. So you just need to request them 30 days prior to sailing, and we have them available on board every one of our ships.
And what about Jewish holidays? For example, if somebody will cruise in like Passover, do you have any options for them?
Yes, if you look at some of the celebrations next year, and this is again going back to your question when to book early, because if you look at booking early, if I look at the 19th of January, which is one of your holidays, we can take no more kosher guests on board because they're booked so far in advance. We have so many. Passover, you come through to, I probably pronounce it correctly, Shikot. You know, these are very, very important dates, and we're always looking to what we can offer to the guests.
In Israel, there's like kind of stigma for the younger people that thinks that cruising is just for old people. What do you have to say for them, and what does the company has to offer?
It's a really good question. And if you look around the ship here, it's not catered for one segment. It's catered for all segments. From the younger children, if you go into the kids clubs there, so there's something there from the junior sailors, all those to enjoy on board, right across there to if you're doing the karting, the water parks, or just chilling out with a book. We want to create that resort feel that caters to every segment. And one of our challenges is getting that message across. Because cruising, as you said, many think of it being for retired, or newlyweds. It's not. And if you look at the Israeli market, it has a very young age group on board all our ships.
In families or in friends groups?
In friends groups, absolutely. So in the couples, very much. It seems to be more and more attractive. And one of the things we find about the Israeli market, and this is where your blog and everything is so important, is getting the experience across and getting over those preconceptions. Because if you look around, would you say this was 55 plus?
No. And last but not least, what is your favorite spot or activity here in the Anchor?
Oh, that's an easy question. I think I live in Israel because I spend so much time in Israel these days, which is absolutely amazing. But sitting in this bar is quite important to me because this is the cabin, and I come from Liverpool. So actually having the cabin club now on a number of our ships, to me, I'm really proud. So, and if you were in here last night, it was just so busy. The band here, the Liverpool Beatles, are quite spectacular. So if you ask me, you're sat exactly where my favourite place is.
Okay, thank you so much, Nate, for this amazing interview, and thank you for inviting us.
Oh, thank you for taking the time to join us, and thank you for the interest that your listeners, your readers give us, and we look forward to welcoming you on board any one of our floating resorts.
Thank you.
Thank you.